So I was scrolling through Google because I'm not on Facebook or Instagram. And I saw a post, like an article about John Legend and Chrissy Teigen losing their new baby. One, I didn't even know she was pregnant. And that's what'll happen when you cut yourself off from social media, which is fine. Hmm. And two, just their post was so transparent and really beautiful, and their images. So um, I wanted to speak about my own pregnancy loss. The year 2020 brought in a lot for me. Um, I was in the process of believing I was getting a promotion, so I was training for that. Meanwhile, somewhat helping the new team get set up at their new property, which honestly, I really wanted to focus more on my own work. But then also finding out I was pregnant. Woo! Right? Um, Now, I had um, been worried that I wasn't going to have any more kids because in my early teens, I had an abortion. 18, not super early, but early. Um, I had an abortion, and at the time, they let you know you have your risks because they never know how anything is going to affect someone. So, one of the risks is that you may not be able to have children. So, having my daughter and then getting pregnant again, I was like, whoa, I can have more kids. Super exciting, right? And nothing brings your life more joy than small little humans who look at you like, you can do everything, I can do nothing, teach me everything. Anyway, I had my first ultrasound, everything was fine. And then I got referred to do like a first trimester screening, which I didn't have to do with my daughter, but I guess I'm 30 and, like at the time I was 30, now I'm 31, and it was just, preemptive. Um, at the first trimester screening, the ultrasound didn't go well. And I got really mad and really emotional because the doctor was like, oh, we don't see this, we don't see that, we don't see this, we don't see that. There's a problem. Something's wrong with your baby. You should go for a termination. And I'm like, immediately, that's your recommendation that I should terminate? Okay. Then we did genetics counseling. Um, all the while, still progressing on, going to see my regular doctor who they were so amazing, and they're just amazing humans. They have such a beautiful light about them, about keeping you calm and keeping you excited, and praying for you. They all said that they were praying for me, which was super beautiful, especially because they were a new doctor's office. So I really just appreciated their calmness in being pregnant. Boom, COVID hits, and now I'm doing doctor's appointments alone. I only did two um, with him, and then I was going alone. And every doctor's appointment was just getting progressively worse. Every ultrasound, I couldn't get pictures. They couldn't see this, they couldn't find that, they didn't know, they weren't sure. And there was no information anyone could give to me about what was happening. Um, Finally, at about 16 weeks, I was referred to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And that's not easy because, I'm in my second trimester. I already know I'm having a baby girl, so I'm just thinking about all the amazing times she's gonna have with her sister, and planning like mommy, me, and big sister outfits, like, because I'm super cheesy sometimes like that. And it was just a lot. So him and I go to the children's hospital and do an ultrasound for 2 hours, and I see her face, I see her brain, I see her heart, not literally her brain, but like her head and her heart, and just seeing everything about her. I mean, it was 2 hours, so it's pretty in depth. And then it was determined that she couldn't survive outside of me. She was missing a lot of vital organs, which Yikes. Ouch. That's hard. And that's hard to process when you're now 19 weeks pregnant, been praying, changing your diet, eating healthier, taking more vitamins, trying to stay positive, and just hoping that all these other appointments were wrong. All these other diagnoses is wrong. So finally get an answer that, basically she's not going to be able to live. So you got to let her go. So at that point, I'm in my second trimester, and there's two options. Either I can deliver, or you have a second trimester abortion. We opted to do the abortion, and I did all the genetic testing. They took the amniotic fluid and did all the screenings, all which came back negative. Everything had been coming back negative. So, for me, I just felt like it wasn't her time. Like, it wasn't time for me to have another baby, even though I wanted it so bad. So it proved to me everything that you want, you shouldn't always get, right? Cool. But then having to go through the process. It's a 2-day process, and they have to dilate you, and then you can go back the next day, and then they perform the D&C. And I remember thinking, it would just be so much easier if she just died inside of me. It would be so much easier if I just had a miscarriage. It'd be so much easier. Like, I wouldn't have to go through this physical discomfort and being so emotionally, like, over it and out of it. And it was a very emotional time, those 20 weeks, 5 months. And then I expected to be distraught for months, maybe even years over this situation. And I found peace in understanding that she just wasn't here to do something amazing for other people. She was just here to do something amazing for her mama. She was my living angel, as one of my friends called it. And it was such a beautiful term for me, because that's literally what she was. She was my little living angel inside of me. She knew me just like her sister knew me from the inside. She knew my heartbeat. She knew when I wasn't feeling well. She knew when I was too tired. She knew when all I wanted to do was just cuddle up and sleep. And what a blessing my daughter is. Lyric, that she wrote a book, Mommy Can't Play Right Now, but when she feels better, she can play. Because I was so sick. And I would sleep because I was so tired. Making a baby is hard work on the body. And I would just sleep, and she would just sit in the room with me and watch TV and let me sleep. So, as terrible as pregnancy loss is, because sometimes you never know why, sometimes you never find peace. There are some women who don't get peace until they have another baby, and there's some people who don't even get peace after that. Some people who never get over the loss, and it creates toxicity in their relationships. So many different outcomes for so many different people, but you have to process it on your own. She was a shooting star baby. That's what she was referred to. Babies who have all the love in the womb, but for some reason they just can't get here. And she just couldn't get here. She couldn't get out her mama's womb, because whatever she was sent to do, whatever her little soul was destined to do, was just for me. And I don't deny that she was probably absolutely going to be perfect in every way, despite her physically not being able to survive outside of me. But anyway, you have to process your grief, and you have to grieve. It's not easy. There's not one way to do it, but you have to do it, because in doing it, you release that burden on yourself. There were moments when I thought, what am I doing wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing in my control to do. But because the only thing I could control was me, I had to figure out how to fix it. But there was no way to fix it. So to Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, thank you for your transparency. And to any other moms who experience a loss, figure out your way to heal. For me, it was quiet time, processing, understanding, praying, meditating, and doing this, talking about it. Get your story out, get your messages out. Anything that happens to you, don't be afraid to talk about them. Don't silence yourself. Don't mute yourself, because you have a beautiful story. And what this might do for somebody is it might help them get through something that they're struggling with, whether it's a pregnancy loss or infertility or just a loss in general, because loss is loss. Being that I was pregnant doesn't make it any easier or any harder. When I lost my dad, it was hard. You take it one day at a time and learn to live without, because you learn to live with for so long, however long. Um, but again, leave your comments below. I appreciate them. And until we meet again.